farewell ceremony is going on. It's at Shalua High School. They're the SSC 26 batch. They're attending the ceremony. This is a kind of farewell, but not a kind of farewell to the death. It's the farewell for a better future. They will go to college and then to university. So this is the part of the primary school and high school together. So here the ceremony is fascinating, and this is a beautiful place. The atmosphere was a little bit hot, but not unbearable, especially because the night before the temperature was almost 40 degrees Celsius. That was the highest in Bangladesh. That was in Rajshahi. And still, this place was quite nice. That's why it did not bother us. The temperature was high, but not terrible. What I'm going to talk about is the students. At the time when I finished my SSC in 89, we had two exams. The exam is now coming to, that's on 21st of this month. And this was held yesterday on 4th of April. So kind of 17 days before the SSC exam. It was a little bit late, especially because the Honorable Parliament member Abu Said Chad, he was supposed to attend this ceremony. This was not just a farewell ceremony, it was also a reception ceremony of the Parliament member Abu Said Chad. He was born at Mariai. From this school, it is just 2.4 kilometers to the north side. He wanted to come here, but unfortunately, he told the president and the headmaster of the school when they were preparing the signboard banner. Thing is that when I asked about it, the headmaster said that he and the president of this school, Shomirun, tried hard to make a banner. But as the chairman, as the MP, he was a member initially, later he became the chairman, and then he became the chairman of Upazila. But later, this time, he was elected as the parliament member MP. So as he's been very busy, he had another schedule that's in Baga Upazila. So it was all of a sudden, it was a bigger program. So he told the president, the headmaster of the school, that he would not attend the ceremony. So it was not bad for the students. The students were having very good time. It was nothing political. Everything was clean, clear. Things were all beautiful. The students had a great time, especially when they were given this garland. These garlands made them so happy, and the program became so special because of this garland. However, now let's talk about the students. The students should understand that they are very lucky. In 89, we had two papers in the same day, one starting at 10 o'clock and finishing at 1 o'clock. And next paper is 2 o'clock, it starts and finishes at 5 o'clock. So what happens in the same day, two papers, Bangla first paper and second paper, and the next day, maybe Friday, usually it happens when I sat for the SSC in 89, on Thursday, both Bangla first paper and second paper, and on Saturday, English first paper and second paper. So at the time it was horrible. I don't know why it happened. Long later, the system has changed. It is something like punishing. What was the reason behind this? I really don't know. I talked to many people. They don't have the answer. But for the last several years, the exams, first paper, second paper, separate, even with a lot of interval. This time, the first Bangla paper will be held on 21st of this month, April, and one day later on 23rd, the second paper Bangla. Then on 26th, 2 days later, right? First paper English, and then one day later, second paper on 28th probably. I gave the routine at some other SSC pace. So it's really very much unfortunate that this used to happen. I really don't know why it happened. So for students, I have some advice or suggestion as I've been teaching for so many years, and I had been an honorary lecturer at Shalua Degree College when the college was founded by our honorable uncle, the Secretary Mahabub. And because, English teachers were very much in demand at that time, scarcity. So as I was studying I finished my first year honors exams, and then this college was founded, and then I was requested to have classes. I was very happy. I finished 1 year with the college students. I finished with the exam, and I checked the scripts. Then I submitted. I told that I'd not like to continue anymore. So after I finished everything with the first batch of Shalua Degree College, I told the authority that I would not continue. So I went to Russia, and then I started working at the same day at Logos. It was a coincidence. However, the overall situation was this, that the students at the time had a great fear that they would have to sit for first paper and second paper. That was traumatizing. Later, what I'd like to tell the students of the school is that, or the students of all other schools in Bangladesh, mathematics is very tricky. When students pass, what happens? If they are late in the exam hall, what happens? They get nervous, and one answer, if he or she can't do, what happens? He or she gets nervous, and it continues. So let's go for an example. Monir, 1 year senior to me, he was also at pilot school. So I took his help in the month of Ramadan in the beginning of my class 9, and I finished math. So what I want to tell students that they should first finish English and mathematics. If they finish English and mathematics, what happens? They have great burden off their shoulder. Because before the exam, math is not necessary to be revised. English is not necessarily to be revised. That's a great plus point. And at the same time, I say that friend got 45 marks in elective math. He was supposed to get 100. Why? It's because he initially had been staying at Pilot High Hostel, but in the end, he could not stay in the hostel. So he went to exam on math by bicycle. And he was late, and he got nervous. It was hot, and he was sweating. So the atmosphere, everything was not in favor of him. So he couldn't manage to get 100. He got only 45. But it gets even worse when I give another example. Khairul Bhai, he was such a good person. He died 1 year back. He was such a intelligent person. He got 100 marks in SSC. I'm talking about mathematics. And in the final exam, in intermediate, what happened? He got 0. So in the exam SSC, he got 100, but in HSC, he got 0. Why? Because the morning of that exam, he was lying in the bed covered with a blanket, and one fellow student came and asked for his help. So he helped him with the math while he was lying in the bed under the blanket. So he was overconfident. When he saw the same math in the exam, he tried to start with it. But unfortunately, he couldn't. Somehow, something went wrong. He couldn't finish with it. And he kept trying, kept trying. He was absolutely confident that he would get 100 marks. And in the first question he was trying to answer, that was what he helped with his friend. So now he kept on doing this and this, and after 3 hours, his script was taken by the teacher, and then he realized that he would get zero. So can you imagine? Sometimes you have to be careful, especially when you are going to face mathematics. Right. So now I'd like to tell a little bit about the school premises, the walls encircled. That's necessary. You understand, when you keep the school open, there are so many problems, cattle and many other problems. But this place was so beautiful before the walls. But now the walls are necessary for the school property, but they disturbed a lot the beauty. If you look at primary school, high school, college, all the institutions are encircled by walls, the Union Council. So on the western side of the school is the Doho Lake. And after the lake, there's Shalua Degree College. And if you look at the left side, you'll have a mosque, you'll have a post office, and then further left, you will get chairman office, that is Union Parishad office. So, and if you just go beside this school on the left, you will find primary school. So this place was so beautiful, and every Monday and Thursday, they set village market, locally called hut. Still, it sits, but unfortunately, as these are all encircled by walls, some shops just beside the school and beside primary school, they just sit along the road, and the number of shops gets so few. On the other hand, if you look at Shodda Shodda Road Station, you will find there's a local market that is hot. It sits on every Sundays and every Wednesdays. That's under an open space, and the place is fixed, so it's as it was. So let's come back to this. Oh, I was, I got the girl, and second, my fellow young nephew, you can say, he honored me. And earlier, you must have seen that Pablo Mama, that is the headmaster of the school, put the girl and around my neck. It was such an honor. It was my pleasure that I was invited. I was so much curious to attend this ceremony. I was very happy. Local elites were all there. So you see the clerk at this school. Some days back, he fell and he hurt in his backbone. And Amedul, he became such a wonderful person to me nowadays. So here's the father and the son. The son was going to put the garland around someone, but I told his father that why don't, right? So he must put the garland around you, the father, and then he put the garland around his grandfather's neck. It was such a wonderful thing I saw. So a lot of boys and girls, they were so happy, and snacks were not that good because shingara was a little bit salty and it was cold. Everything is fine. You understand, a shingara must be cold after so much time. And the the most important part of this program is girl and students were. If you saw a lanky boy somewhere, you'll find his name is Porosh, the son of Amin, the youngest brother of Lablu. He said that he got 8 garlands. He was so much fascinated with. So Amidul, the teacher, he is such a wonderful person. I did not know that he was so amiable. For these days, maybe a couple of days or a week, he became such an amiable person. He got the style, and you see the the black goggles. I told him that when you wear these sunglasses, you look much handsomer, like an army officer. So Saidur Bhai, he is Raj University official, and I expected Nazamul Bhai, he did not turn up. I expected Yakub Bhai, he did not turn up. He told the night before that he would not go because he was bad. He had a recent accident over the bridge, our lovely bridge. He fell and he got unconscious, and he was lying unconscious on the sleepers. He got hurt in his chest, severe, and he could have died because he was a little bit unconscious for some time. The bridge is so much broken. For a couple of months I could not see, but later when I wanted to see the place for video, I found that the bridge sleepers were not organized. So snacks are being distributed. Young boys and girls are really fascinated with all this. So probably this was the best farewell occasion I have ever seen, because the atmosphere was beautiful, and what happened, Shamim, Bulbul, they were so much helpful, they were so much active. Tommy was also very active, and someone, I don't remember his name, he has problem with his leg. The assistant headmaster you just saw behind. So this was the prayer. It was on behalf of the outgoing students. Sometimes the fortune is very important in us. Even when you have studied well, you may not do good in the exam. So this man I was talking about, he has a little problem with his leg. So we spent some time. I usually tell a little bit on medical science as I practice medicine. The medicine I don't like, but I practice on Hippocrates science just on the basis of food items. And I also check with the reports, the health tests, and I usually administer a list of food items. So Porosh, I told you in the beginning that he's so lanky, very tall and very thin. In American English, it's called lanky. He told that he got 8 garlands. That was really interesting for him. And now you see the holy program. They are actually doing something great. They're coloring their fellow friends. You see this girl is writing something on the back of this fellow classmate. And he also, the other friend, you saw something very interesting. So this is what I saw very new here. I didn't know that the students are now so much forward. At the time when I was SSC happened, I didn't talk to girls. I was afraid of, shy of, and we were a little bit busy with studies and things different at the time. But now boys and girls, when their classmates are quite comfortable to each other, that's good. Sometimes you have to have good time. Relationship should be good. It shouldn't be corrupt, but it helps mental growth, psychological fixing things, everything. So Shamim was the presenter of this program. He was anchoring. Rezaul is on the right side. I missed Azibar. He did not come. And beside is Yakub Bhai, the ex-banker, Sarkar, and then Azibar's Rezaul's father. Sometimes I mix with these two names, Azibar and Rezaul. It happens somehow, what has happened. And other elites and little. Uh, so, such a wonderful event, even when the temperature was hot, but still it was not so hot because the open air was little bit breeze and the sunny weather and the uh, tent was very good. The upper ceiling by cloth was fine. So I was so much privileged to attend this program, as I find having videos is very helpful in the long run. When we die, when people die, when they grow up, they will see the videos, the photos that can have a great memory for each of us. Thank you very much.